Holy crap. Elon Musk has just announced exactly who is trying to block President Trump's shutdown of the fraud and corruption and misgivings and the misdeeds of USAID. He shows the receipts and the evidence of why this judge secretly wants to stop Trump from ending the flow of money. I'm not talking about Judge Juan Merchan, who enriched himself. It's a different Democrat judge. Mexico has just given written permission for President Trump and Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth to enter Mexico with the U.S. military in order to practice attacking the Mexican cartel. Is America about to go to war on behalf of our neighbor Mexico? It sure looks like it. Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook is exposed for kissing the cheeks of Trump in public, but secretly funding his demise. I'll show you exactly what's being reported. Thank you so much for joining me today. There's a lot, so let's go ahead and jump right in. Attorney General Letitia James of New York has announced that she is suing Elon Musk for illegally accessing people's Social Security information, learning about how the government spends money, who it's sending to. Let me show you that, and then I'll show you what Elon Musk has found so far. I think it's absolutely going to blow your mind. So let me show that to you right now.
It's important that individuals understand that we cannot allow private citizens to have access to this private information. And pausing funds for the purposes of individuals bowing to the knee of the President of the United States, basically being subjected to ideological litmus test. Individuals who do not follow his prescriptions, his policy prescriptions. This is a democracy, a representative democracy. And it's important that individuals understand that there are co-equal branches of law that need to be respected, and that states, again, have a unique responsibility to ensure that the Constitution is followed, the constitutional order of things here in this great country. And so that's why we are standing up. We're defending the Constitution. We took an oath to the Constitution, not to a man, but to the Constitution. And let me just say to the brave soldiers, the amazing individuals at the Southern District of New York, Danielle Sassone, she's a profile in courage.
All right, so Letitia James has called for Elon Musk to be hauled to the Southern District of New York to be arrested, that he is illegal, that he is going against the Constitution. Elon Musk has been specifically tasked by the sitting president, the chief executive of the entire country, to root out corruption and fraud. She doesn't want corruption and fraud rooted out unless it's against her political enemies. Hence, all of the stupid, wasteful lawsuits against President Trump. So she wants him to basically bow down to her. She says it's to bow down to the Constitution, but really it's to bow down to her. Now, what is Elon Musk and his team of geniuses finding? Oh, wouldn't you know it? Tens of millions of dead Americans over the age of 100 that are still receiving Social Security checks. Let me go ahead and show that to you now, because I found it to be absolutely fascinating. Check this out. Libs of TikTok says, holy schlit, this is insane. I wonder how many of these dead people voted for Joe Biden in 2020. According to the Social Security database, these are the number of people in each age bucket with the death field set to false. Maybe the Twilight book series is real and there are a lot of vampires collecting Social Security. Well, let's look at this. So we've got, look at this. Let's go down to 100, right? The average person dies in their early 80s. A lot of people are becoming centurions, but look at this. 4 million, 4.7 million, 3.6 million, 3.4 million. Oh, wait a minute. Somebody that's 360 years old is still having a Social Security check mailed to them. 1,000 people over the age of 220 are having a Social Security check sent to them. Think about this. We're talking about tens of millions of people that are receiving a Social Security check. So now you go back to the original comment from the libs of TikTok. Are these the 20 million people that voted for Joe Biden in 2020, but magically never showed up to vote for Kamala Harris in 2024? Where did all of those people go? Was she really that bad that those people just said, you know what? We wanted her to be vice president. We love being Democrats. We love this country. We love Joe Biden. We're going to stay home. I don't think so. So maybe that's what's going on here, right? So now you have Democrats going on national TV every single night saying there's real danger because of an unelected person by the name of Elon Musk. Never in American history has Social Security checks been on the line. But now, with Elon Musk accessing Social Security and the U.S. Treasury, there's real danger you might not get your Social Security check. I beg to say that there's a real chance that these dead people are not going to get their Social Security check. And guess what? If they don't get their check, there's more money in the Social Security Trust Fund. That means that that program that many of you that watch me are dependent on or receive money from, that it's going to last longer. It's not going to go bankrupt as fast. It's still going to go bankrupt, but maybe with all of these billions and billions and hundreds of billions and even trillions of dollars that they're finding, maybe we can actually keep Social Security going or find a better way. Maybe we say, okay, from this age forward, no more Social Security. If you're already on there, you get Social Security, right? But things have changed, but there is no risk. Let me be clear. There is no risk that living Americans that deserve Social Security will not get their check. President Trump has guaranteed it, and Elon Musk, he's going after corruption, not people that are entitled because the government took your money and then is now just giving you back your own money. So Letitia James is absolutely wrong, and so are the other Democrats. But Musk and his team of geniuses aren't the only ones discovering money issues. Internet sleuths here on TikTok and Twitter, they're discovering real issues with some of the judges that are blocking President Trump because of personal reasons. Remember Judge Juan Merchan, how his daughter was making millions and millions of dollars milking the Stormy Daniel story out in New York and using that story to raise over $100 million for people like Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Hakeem Jeffries, and others. So we've got some really corrupt judges, and now we've discovered another one. You thought Mitch McConnell, the turtle, was a bad dude. Well, now we have Judge McConnell, who is actively blocking President Trump. And this is why Elon Musk is saying, wait a minute, if we find evidence of corruption, we should be able to impeach a sitting judge. Now, Democrats say that this is wrong, but when you follow the money, you start seeing what is actually happening. So let me put that up on the screen and let's look at that together. Okay, activist judge who blocked Trump's spending freeze has hidden money ties. Federal Judge John McConnell failed to disclose his role at Crossroad, Rhode Island, while ruling against Trump's spending freeze. His nonprofit received $128 million in government funding during his 18-year board tenure, including $42 million between 2020 and 2023. Rhode Island, a plaintiff in the case, already sent his organization $2.9 million in 2025. The federal judge, the judge ordered federal funds to keep flowing. Why does he want stuff to keep flowing because he's personally benefiting from it. Follow the money and you will follow the corruption. Now, it says right here, a judge must avoid all impropriety and appearance of impropriety. This prohibition applies to both professional and personal conduct. A judge must expect to be the subject of constant public scrutiny and accept freely and willingly restrictions that might be viewed as burdensome to the ordinary citizen. So what is going on? This judge, this activist judge who has blocked the Trump spending freeze is receiving money for doing that. That's why he wants money to continue to flow from USAID and other parts of the federal government. It's because he is collecting on it. Now, let me know over in the comments. Do you think that this judge should, at a minimum, recuse himself and at a maximum be impeached? This guy literally lied, tried to cover up the fact that he was personally financially benefiting, that his own organization had received over $100 million of taxpayer money secretly funneled through USAID. And while we're at it, I want Judge Juan Merchan to be investigated. All right, now this is terrible and great at the same time. House Speaker Mike Johnson finally admits Republicans needed an Elon Musk for Republicans to be better Republicans. For decades, the Republican Party has said, we need a lean government. We need to cut spending, remove corruption and wasteful spending, shrink the government. Well, that's exactly what Donald Trump and Elon Musk are doing. Here's what Speaker Johnson had to say. What Elon Musk is doing is truly revolutionary. As the Doge algorithm finds widespread fraud, waste, and abuse in the executive branch agencies that have been hidden from Congress for decades, it will allow us to restore the original intent of our Constitution, a leaner, more efficient, and more accountable federal government that is kept in check by the legislative branch. So the Democrats say this is unconstitutional. Speaker Johnson says the Constitution actually demands a lean government. The federal government was never supposed to be the largest employer on earth. It was never supposed to have trillions and trillions of dollars of income and spending. It's supposed to be lean. Keep the states honest, keep the country safe, maintain the border, maintain the military. And yet they have their hands in everything. And now we have a bloated, out of control government that has run up over $35 trillion in spending. Most of that we're finding was stupid spending, and the rest of it was war. Stupid, endless, but extremely profitable war. It's all coming to an end, thanks to Trump. All right, now, the average person today is feeling the financial strain more than ever. Expenses are up, eggs are up, wages can't keep up with inflation, and many people are finding it impossible to make ends meet each month, with little left over after covering the basics. Well, it's no surprise that many are turning to credit cards. Sadly, some of these credit cards charge 20, 25, 30% interest. If you're a homeowner and you're stuck in this awful cycle of mounting debt, then I need you to call my friends at American Financing. Their salary-based mortgage consultants are saving people in my community, on average, $800 a month. You guys, that's like a $10,000 a year wage increase. Keep that money in your pocket. Now, if you act right now, you might even be able to skip your next mortgage payment. Boom, more money in your pocket. There are no upfront fees, so it costs you nothing to find out how much money you could save. It's time to break free from the stressful high interest rate debt that is bogging you down. Go to americanfinancing.net/Gardner or call 888-686-8030. Again, check out American Financing, 888-686-8030. All right, many have questioned Mark Zuckerberg of Facebook and his sudden turning to conservative values and becoming a fan of President Donald J. Trump. Well, now, thanks to Natalie Winters over on Steve Bannon's War Room, we find out it's all fake. It's just kissing the ring of the king in public, but secretly trying to destroy him with your large amount of money. Now, remember when Zuckerbucks, over $400 million, was pumped into the 2020 election, and over 90% of that went to swing states where Joe Biden was supposed to lose? Well, now you have Mark Zuckerberg publicly saying, I support Trump, we need transparency, but behind the scenes, he is funding the demise of America and President Trump. Let's go to Steve Bannon's War Room to hear what's really happening.
Well, look, a snake can shed its skin and it's still a snake. So let this story be, frankly, a testament to, I think, the ascendant MAGA movement. They tried the first time, to sabotage and sort of subversively infiltrate our movement. Now they know they have to be supplicants and try to pretend to be MAGA. Mark Zuckerberg, probably the greatest offender in all that. People may recall last week we talked about how the New York Times came after a Twitter thread that I did showing how Mark Zuckerberg had been funneling money to groups that are tied to all the lawfares, the lawsuits that you've been talking about, particularly an organization called Protect Democracy. But the story gets even darker. We like to bring the receipts here in the War Room, as we always say. Well, after I broke that story, that thread, the Chan Zuckerberg Initiative actually went back to their website, which used to list over 5,000 grants that they've doled out to overwhelmingly far-left organizations. But that's besides the point, at least for this second. But what's so interesting is that after I put that thread out, they actually reversed their website, and now they only list 680 grants, saying that they're only doing post-2024 grants. Conveniently, everything they did to rig the 2020 election is now gone. But I also want to push back on this idea that Mark Zuckerberg could have never funded a group that's tied to ongoing and active Trump resistance, because I actually donor-advised funds aside, the Silicon Valley Community Foundation aside, Forward US, which was founded by Mark Zuckerberg in 2013, in addition to the Chan Zuckerberg Initiative, I've actually identified over a dozen organizations that have been funded by them that are actively involved in some form of resistance against President Trump, whether that be lawsuits, lobbying, protests, mass demonstration, phone banking, phone calls, you name it. Just to give you some examples, one of the group, it's called CASA, is actively suing President Trump over his birthright citizenship executive order. They also maintain a hotline where people can dox ICE raids and ICE agents. Make the Road New York has a whole deportation defense manual. They instruct illegal aliens how to avoid deportation, and they're suing President Trump over his deportation agenda. Vote Vets Action has received money from Zuckerberg. They actively oppose the Hegseth confirmation. They're having all their deranged.
All right, so that goes on and on, but want to be respectful of your time. So they went in, they secretly removed almost 4,300 of the grants that they gave out because they're overwhelmingly left-leaning organizations. The Zuckerbergs, the Chan Zuckerberg, that's his wife and him, they are extremely left-leaning. And now they're pretending to be conservative so that they don't get sued or investigated. But the truth is always going to come out. If you are a rhino, it's going to come out. If you're a left-leaning, crazy wackadoo, it's going to come out. And so people are bringing their receipts that Mark Zuckerberg is a fake and a phony, and he is actively, secretly, in the dark of night, funding the demise of America, as well as the Trump agenda. So anyway, pretty terrible. All right, well, we are one step closer to U.S. special troops attacking the Mexican cartel. Here's the developing story as we have it now. The Mexican Senate recently approved the entry of U.S. Special Forces into Mexico to train Mexican soldiers, a move catalyzed by President Donald Trump's executive order declaring the Mexican drug cartel as a foreign terrorist organization. This decision comes amidst heightened tension and a strategic shift in dealing with the rampant influence of cartels within Mexico. The training initiative, which involves members of the U.S. Army's 7th Special Forces Group, aims to equip Mexican naval infantry with skills for both conventional and unconventional combat. This development is significant as it reflects a cooperative effort to combat the cartel operations. They've basically infiltrated the Mexican government. which has been linked to widespread violence, drug trafficking, child trafficking, women trafficking, and destabilizing of the region. Hundreds of thousands of Americans die every year because of the Mexican cartel using mules to bring fentanyl into our country. Now, this move has been met with mixed reactions. Some see it as a necessary step to curb the power of the cartel, while others say this is kind of stepping on Mexican sovereignty. Well, here's what I think. I think it's gotten out of control, and Mexico needs Big Brother to step in and be helpful. They don't want their own citizens dying. They don't want their own country being flooded with illegal immigrants that are now sitting on the border of Laredo and El Paso and Tijuana and other parts of Mexico, Eagle Pass. They want a safe country for their people, or at least they should. So are we going to war? It's one step closer, but a lot of people support this because almost everyone in America knows somebody who has been affected by the fentanyl crisis. All right, let me know what you guys think of these stories. Big stories, so much good going on. Do you support Elon Musk rooting out the corruption in Social Security? Let me know in the comments. Do you actually believe the Democrat lies that he is going to shut down your Social Security checks? Number one, he's not going to do that. And two, President Donald J. Trump has already said that he will never allow anything to interrupt those checks going out to our great seniors. All right, I love you guys. Please give this video a like, hit that subscribe button, stay amazing, and I will see you